The Prophecy of Agal. King Oleg of Russia was on his way to give battle to the Khmers, a fierce people who had invaded his kingdom. The king's magnificent black horse galloped swiftly on over the lonely road that led to the battlefront. As he spurred on his horse, the king was restless and uneasy in his heart. What would be his fate now? Was he going to be killed in the battle, or would he come through it victorious? Suddenly, his horse shied and then stopped still, neighing loudly. An old man appeared from behind the trees. He was tall and thin and dressed all in white, and his beard and hair were as white as his clothes. The king was very startled at first, but then he saw that the old man was Agal, who lived all alone in the deep dark Russian forest. Courteously, the king bowed his head as he approached the hermit, who was known throughout the great country for his wisdom and for his prophecies. "Wise Agal," he said, "you know my past and you can see into the future. Tell me what my fate will be. Am I going to die on the field of battle, or shall I be killed by a traitor? Shall I be swallowed up by the waves of the sea, or shall I grow to old age in peace and contentment? If you can give me an answer, all the riches of my kingdom are yours. You may have whatever is in my power to grant you." "I am content with what I have, King Oleg," the wise man answered gravely. "But I will give you an answer. You will have a long and glorious life, O king. You will sail the seas through mighty storms and fight great and terrible battles against your enemies. There will be many who will betray you and be unfaithful to you, and you will have to suffer many illnesses. But in spite of all this, you will live to be an old man. And in the end, this horse, your favorite steed, will bring about your death." The king was greatly alarmed at these words. He thought for a moment and then dismounted from his horse. He called to his faithful groom, who stood holding his own horse a little way off. "Take my horse to a meadow where there is new grass growing," the king commanded. "See to it that he never lacks for anything." The king leaned close to his horse and stroked its black forehead. "Goodbye, old friend," he said, giving the reins to the groom. Then he sprang into the saddle of the groom's horse, dug in the spurs, and rode off into the night. The new horse did its best and galloped as fast as it could, though it had neither the grace nor the speed of the mount he had been forced to leave behind. Years went by. King Oleg won war after war and came safely through all kinds of dangers. He faced death at least 100 times, but over and over again he was able to escape it. More years went by. King Oleg had grown old and tired. One morning, his son said to him, "Father, why don't you go and take a walk in the garden? The fresh morning air will do you good." "No, my son," The king answered, "I'm old. Little by little, I must begin to prepare myself for death." "Do not think of such sad matters, father. Think of the days when you were young, of your great victories and your splendid horses." "Ah, yes, my horses. There was only one horse I loved. He was a noble and fiery animal, and my most faithful friend. But I had to abandon him, and I don't even know if he is still alive." "I will call the old groom, father. He is sure to know what happened to your horse." It was not long before the groom appeared. "What do you want of me, sire?" "I want to know that the horse is getting on that I entrusted to you all those years ago when we met wise Agal." "That horse died long ago, sire. His bones lie on the green hill by the river." King Oleg sighed sadly. Then wise Agal's prophecy was wrong. He thought, "I parted from my good friend for nothing.